Greater optimism and confidence in the economy has fueled a demand to start new businesses at a growing rate last year. That's because they say advances in technology have made it much easier to start a business from home, avoiding many of the costs associated with brick and mortar operations. Alfred Edmond Jr., Senior Vice President and Chief Content Officer at Black Enterprise Magazine. Alfred, good to see you again.
Great
Welcome back to Arise Exchange.
Happy New Year.
And this is your second appearance on Arise today.
Oh, yeah. I've been busy. You guys have worked with me.
Talking about relationships
yes,
earlier.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about relationships with money right now, okay?
Yes.
So you're expecting more businesses or more people to start businesses this year. Why?
This is going to be a really good year for small entrepreneurs and startups, as well as bigger entrepreneurs who are looking for venture capital. So especially for women. The good news is there's going to be more capital available on both levels.
First, why for women?
Well, women are starting businesses in larger numbers, and the early indications are that their businesses are succeeding in larger numbers. Now, often many women are starting more lifestyle businesses, but now we see more women going after really big business
Lifestyle
money.
businesses, kind of hobby businesses, right?
Well, businesses that make good money, but are designed to accommodate their desire to have families and to have more flexible lifestyles. But now you have a generation of women that really are going after venture capital and the real big money necessary to grow business.
Okay, and there's a couple interesting things about venture capital. The government has changed the rules a little bit to hopefully make it easier to get investments. Is that part of what's driving this, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Everything from pitch competitions, which are becoming more numerous and richer. The blackenterprise.com pitch competition just opened this week, so you can enter now. Then you're looking at crowdfunding and all the changes regarding crowdfunding, making that another way for entrepreneurs to make money. And then on top of that, the venture capital markets are doing very, very well.
People are ready to deploy the money.
And there's people to deploy the money with.
What about the regulatory environment, specifically on states issues, where many of these businesses, are they're in local localities? Is that going to be improving this year, do you think?
I think it's going to stay largely the same, but it also hasn't been a major barrier to business growth and business startups. So I don't see a lot of major changes, but it doesn't seem to have been a major factor in slowing down the growth.
Also, are you seeing people leave jobs now voluntarily to start new businesses? During the recession, we heard about people starting businesses because they were out of work. But do you see a trend this year where people will be confident enough and take that gut check, quit their job, and hang a shingle out their window?
Well, you got people in three categories. They're the ones who have to start a business because their careers is not going the way they want it to go. But there are a lot more people who are saying, if I'm going to take my shot, I need to take it now. The third group, I think, is going to be the group that drives our economy in 2015 and beyond, what we call the creative economy, which is the idea that you have to have multiple streams of income, and you don't want any unused bandwidth for the time and the talent and the energy you might have that doesn't get deployed at your main job, but could still make money in other ways. So and I think that's going to grow a lot.
More people having sort of, side gigs.
Side hustles, freelancing, consulting, other ways to maximize their time and energy beyond just the 9-to-5 job.
I was part of a mentoring group here in New York that works with, business startups. How important is it, if you want to go out on your own, that you seek sort of advice where you could find it? And there's a lot of free advice out there, especially in a city like New York.
There's a lot of free advice. There's a lot of free advice online. There are a lot of events, both local and national. The biggest mistake that we find at Black Enterprise that entrepreneurs make is they isolate themselves very, very early. They get so kind of focused on the blocking and tackling of the business that they end up trying to reinvent the wheel. And the margin for error for smaller businesses is very narrow. So if you make the mistakes early, you likely won't survive that magic 5-year lifespan.
And finally, you had commented that technology is making starting a business easier. Talk about that a little bit.
It's making it not only easier, but more lucrative. And in your earlier segment, you talked about mobile. And mobile is going to be huge. It's going to continue to be huge as a way to find customers, to micro-target, and to make money. In fact, Facebook advertising and all the changes, that's not going anywhere. Now you're going to need to pay for the exposure, but smart entrepreneurs will use that in the rise of mobile and micro-targeting to really generate a lot of revenue for their business.
Alfred Edmond, Black Enterprise Magazine, thank you.
My pleasure.
You're going to be on another show today?
I think I'm off for the rest of the day.
Stick around, we may put you on.
You might be calling me back.
Okay, thank you. Happy New Year.